Body bags, where horror lies.
Yo, what's up everybody? Welcome to week 103 here on Body Bags. I am your host Moodz616, and thank you once again for stopping in, guys. Yeah, week 103 is here, and we've just got another random week for y'all. So this week I decided to go with this film. I watched it earlier in the week, and I thought, why not? Might as well just do a review on Body Bags. It just recently came out. It's from 2015, courtesy of Scream Factory / IFC. Of course, they have this partnership now. And Scream Factory is releasing a lot of these contemporary IFC films. And this one right here is called Dark Summer. Now, this is actually one that I was really anticipating. I know like a lot of the Scream Factory contemporary titles can be kind of hit and miss, just like IFC films. There's a lot of IFC films that I've enjoyed. There's a lot that are really complete misses. This is one that I was intrigued about because it was directed by Paul Solet. He directed Grace. Now, Grace was a very, very kind of odd and enjoyable type film. If you've never seen Grace before, I dug it. So I wanted to check out something else from him. I know that he's got a segment coming up on Tales of Halloween. It's supposed to be coming out, you know, in October later this year, so stoked on that one too. But getting into the plot of this one, it's a very, very simple premise. It's basically about a boy named Daniel. He is now been put on house arrest for cyberbullying a girl at school. He obviously did some really bad shit, and he got busted for it, and so now he's on house arrest and stuck in his house for the summertime. The thing is, his mom is actually away out of the city on business, so he's actually stuck in this house by himself. He's got a couple close friends, one being a female, one being a male. And of course, they somehow managed to get by, you know, his parole officer and stuff, because, you know, he's got the little house arrest gadget thing on him. But they managed to break the rules, and they managed to come over and hang out with him and stuff like that, you know, throughout the film. But the thing is with Daniel is that, you know, he's on house arrest for cyberbullying, and, you know, he really does want to reconnect with that person that he was apparently bullying. Of course, he tries to, something very, very drastic happens, and now he is being kind of, you know, things are happening around the house and things are happening to him that he can't explain. He kind of thinks he's going a little bit crazy, and so do his friends and stuff. And yeah, I'll just leave the, premise or the story right there. So now my thoughts on this one. You know, at first, this one right here, as soon as I popped it in, I was about 10-15 minutes into it. The first thing I thought of was Disturbia, of course, with Shia LaBeouf or whatever his name is. You know, the kind of the Rear Window remake. This one had a very similar type feel to it. You know, teenager stuck inside a house. Except for this one, everything that happens to him is inside the house. So, you know, I'm kind of thinking Disturbia right away. Very interesting. They actually have a Disturbia quote in the film. Not quote, they actually kind of give a shout out to, you know, the movie Disturbia, which I thought was very intriguing that I just thought that. So, but with that said, this is a very, very different film than Disturbia. We know that what Disturbia is about. This one happens all inside the house. It kind of feels like a contained horror film because it is all inside the house and just a lot of crazy shit. It kind of at times feels very claustrophobic. But now, my thoughts on this film is that I think it's a very intriguing film because right from the initial setup, I had my ideas of how this one was going to go. And to my amazement, it never did actually go the way I was thinking it was going to go. That's a plus. Now, to the characters, Daniel is a very kind of almost likable person. He feels very kind of, you know, he feels remorse and stuff for what he has done to this Mona girl that, you know, that he wants to reconnect and stuff with. And, you know, the interesting thing about this film is, you know, the story picks up with him being placed on house arrest. So the whole previous story, it just kind of feels like it just starts in the middle of the story, which is kind of interesting. But you learn things as you go along in the film about, you know, him and her and, you know, the initial story and stuff like that, which is very, very cool. I kind of like that structure because, you know, you don't really know what to think of him at first until things kind of break down and stuff. That's pretty cool. This film doesn't have a lot of characters in it. It's got him, it's, you know, his girlfriend, which isn't his girlfriend, and his other friend, and of course a parole officer. There's very, very little characters in this film. So, you know, basically the first half of the film is a lot of you know, him and his two friends that are, you know, completely breaking the law by being over there. They're not supposed to be over at this house and stuff. And there's a lot of build up in the film, you know, with the characters and the kind of the story. It's kind of not slow paced. It's not snail paced. It's not fast paced or anything. It's kind of like a medium pace, but I think the pace in the film works for what it is. You know, I have heard from a couple different people that have seen this film that, you know, the pacing they thought was really too slow, but I think it's supposed to be like that because it's a slow burn type film. You know, it's a supernatural ghost horror story, so you need that build up. I think the pacing's actually pretty well done, and the pacing is good for, you know, the structure of the film and the way they kind of piece the story together. With that said, I enjoyed all the characters. I think everyone did a really good job. The lead character, Daniel Williamson, you know, played by Keir Gilchrist, he was also in It Follows too, which is a film, you know, I'm kind of on the fence about, but I think he does a really good job in the lead. You know, the girl, she's really, really hot in this film. She does a good job. His other friend does a good job too. So everyone plays good characters. Now, like I said, this is a slow burn type film, so it's got a really kind of dark atmosphere to it, which I really think does work. It's fantastic. The dark atmosphere is good in the film. And, you know, combined with a little bit of a, like, really kind of dark, somber soundtrack, I think it all really does work. But it all comes down to the third act. These type of films always usually suffer from a really poor third act. Now, like I said off the top of the review, is that this one kind of went somewhere that I wasn't expecting it to, and it felt super original. I'm not gonna lie, the premise is very simple, it's been done before, but what this turns into and how the story kind of comes full circle and what it develops into is pretty original and quite fascinating. I really enjoyed what they did with this film. You know, with that said, I think the very last shot in the film is kind of whatever. But with that said, you know, I think the way this thing kind of turns out and goes, what it turns into, is very well done. You know, it's one of these films you can't really give anything away. I don't want to give any type of, you know, the second half of the film away, because that's when it really does start. And yeah, it's a good film overall. I actually really enjoyed this one. A lot more than this one I was really anticipating, but I enjoyed it a lot more than I actually thought I was going to. But yeah, I recommend Dark Summer, man. It was actually a pretty well made film and acted well. It was a lot better, you know, than I could have ever imagined. So with that said, I'm going to give this one a solid 7 out of 10. You know, it's not like the best film ever made, but it's not a poor film either. You know, it's really, really good. You know, it's worthy of a 7 out of 10. So Dark Summer, definitely check it out. I was thoroughly happy, you know, with the ending of this film, because generally, like I said, you know, these type of films can go either one way or the other way, good or bad. This one turned out to be really good. So yeah, with that said, Dark Summer, check it out. 2015. Actually, honestly, one of the more enjoyable films I've seen from 2015, to be honest. But anyways, guys, that's going to do it for week 103 here on Body Bags. I'll see you in week 104, which theoretically is the 2-year anniversary of Body Bags. So we'll see you guys then. Peace out.